Okay? Sharon? I still need to hear you a little louder.
Okay, is this better?
Little better, can you talk a little louder?
Yeah, is this better?
Okay, I think we'll do with this.
Okay.
The other audio problems have been solved for the time being, I hope. Okay, so I want to introduce you to my collaborator, Sharon Aviv. We've been working together with many other people, actors, technicians, and so on, really for the last couple of months, trying to understand this new technology much better. And also wanted to make the audience aware of that as we are performing, there's a link distributed so people are able to see the live performance currently from Los Angeles, from London, from Frankfurt, and so on and so forth. So we're really inviting you to be part of this experiment, and it is something that is it's an experiment, and we'll hope to be able to continue the work in the future. I also wanted to quickly thank the Center for Religion and Media, who made this possible, my department, performance studies, and so on. Sharon, did you want to say something?
No, would you like to introduce? We're fine, we're ready.
I have the honor of having both of our deans with us today who have not met before, so I wanted to...
Barbara, can you speak a bit louder as well?
Dean Mary Brewer,
Barbara.
who is the Dean of the Steinhardt School of Education. And I want to introduce her to Freddie Rokem.
And I would like to introduce Professor Freddie Rokem, the Dean of the Faculty of the Arts. Freddie, would you please step in to the site?
Okay.
It's our site. Please come by and just you have to look at the camera.
Okay.
Here you go.
Okay, it's nice to communicate in this way, and we really want the performance to start.
So hello, Freddie. It's lovely to meet you, although I must say this is the oddest introduction I've ever received. But I've heard wonderful things about you, and I'm very excited to see the performance. It's a great collaboration among performance studies and the Center for Religion and Media and Culture and Communication in the Steinhardt School. Also to tell you that Michael Steinhardt, who has ties to both New York University and the University of Tel Aviv, is very interested in this work too. So it's wonderful to meet you, and I hope to shake your hand in person someday.
Yes, okay, so here I stretch out my hand, and I'm really happy that this is taking place. And we have an audience of about 50 people here in the studio, and let the performance begin, and good luck.
Yes, and I'd also, just before we start, like to thank the Department of Theater Studies, the Department of Film Studies, and the Information Technology and Computing Division at Tel Aviv University. And I think that on this note, we can start our performance. Okay, so enjoy, everybody.
In order to live in the world, we must name it. Naming is the means whereby we attempt to order and structure an undifferentiated mass by assigning names. We impose a pattern and a meaning which allows us to manipulate the world. All naming is of necessity biased, and the process of naming is one of encoding that bias. everyone on earth had the same language and the same words.
Aleph.
As they migrated from the east,
Bet.
they came upon a valley in the land.
Gimel.
And settled there.
Daled.
They said to one another,
Hey.
"Come, let us make bricks and burn them hard."
Vav.
Bricks serve them as stone,
Zain.
and bitumen serve them as mortar.
Chet.
And they said, "Come, let us build a city,
Tet.
and a tower with its top in the sky,
Yud.
else we shall be scattered."
Chaf.
All over the world.
Lamed.
The Lord came down to look at the city and the tower man had built.
Mem.
And the Lord said,
Nun.
"If, as one people with one language for all, this is how they began to act,
Samech.
then nothing that they may propose to do will be out of their reach.
Ein.
Let us go down there and confound their speech there,
Pei.
so that they shall not understand one another's speech."
Tzadik.
Thus the Lord scattered them from there
Kuf.
over the face of the whole earth,
Reish.
and they stopped building that city.
Shin.
That is why it's called Babel,
Taf.
because there the Lord confounded the speech of the whole earth,
Aleph.
and from there the Lord scattered them over the face of the whole earth.
Aleph.
In order to live in the world,
In a telegram
we
letter,
must name it.
Heydrich, leader of the SS.
Naming is the means whereby we
Clearly ordered the violence to begin.
the volume must come up. Attempt to order and structure
Synagogues were set on fire.
an undifferentiated mass.
Jewish shops had their windows smashed across the country,
By assigning names,
which gave rise to the name
we impose a pattern
Kristallnacht,
and a meaning which allows us
which freely translates
to manipulate the world.
into the night of the broken glass.
All naming is of necessity biased.
The name Kristallnacht
and the process of naming
was given to the event
is one of encoding that bias
by the Nazis themselves, because it mocked what had happened.
Let me offer you two statements about this paper's coverage of the conflict in the Middle East. First,
Sarai,
رباعية
Abraham's
تطالب
wife,
إسرائيل في رسالة شديدة اللهجة فتح
I
معبر
find the
رفح
correspondence at the time,
دون تأخير وتسهيل حياة
to
الفلسطينيين.
be honest,
الجانب الفلسطيني يرفض وضع الكاميرات الإسرائيلية لمراقبة الحركة.
second,
Hagar, an Egyptian maidservant.
the Times today is the gold standard as far as setting out precise language.
قالت مصادر إسرائيلية أمس أن جهات دولية وعلى رأسها الاتحاد الأوروبي والإدارة الأمريكية
The content,
تمارس ضغوطا على إسرائيل للتوصل إلى الصيغة
the terms of the
تتيح
international
افتتاح
convention.
معبر رفح في أقرب وقت
Less
ممكن.
tempered groups on each side find
ونقلت
the
وكالة
Times
الأنباء الألمانية عن الإذاعة الإسرائيلية
guilty of felonies ranging from outright dishonesty to the complicity in the death of civilians.
Sarai, Abram's wife, had borne him no children. She had an Egyptian maidservant whose name was Hagar. And Sarai said to Abram,
Look, the Lord has kept me from bearing. Consort with my maid. Perhaps you shall have a son through her.
and Abram heeded Sarai's request. He cohabited with Hagar and she conceived. And when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was lowered in her esteem. And she said to Abram,
I myself put my maid in your bosom, and now that she sees that she is pregnant, I am lowered in her esteem.
Then Sarai treated her harshly, and she ran away from her.
Demolitions
And the angel of the Lord
was deterrence,
found her by a spring of water,
achieved by the harming of relatives of Palestinians.
and said, Hagar, slave of Sarai, where are you coming from?
أين زيبات؟ ده أنت الخي.
who carried out or were suspected in carrying out
And she said, I am running away from my mistress, Sarai.
attacks against Israeli citizens and soldiers.
And the angel said to her, go back to your mistress.
שובי אל גבירתך.
The main victims of demolition
And submit to her harsh treatment.
והטעני תחת ידיה.
were family members, among them women, elderly, children.
I will greatly increase your offspring, and they shall be too many to count.
הרבה הרבה את זרעך. ולא
Who
יספר
bore
מרוב.
no responsibilities for the acts of their relatives.
Behold, you are with a child and shall bear a son.
הנה חרה.
It should
ויולדת
be
בן.
mentioned
וקראת שמו ישמעאל כי שמע אדוני
of
לעונייך.
house demolition.
You shall call him Ishmael, for the Lord has paid heed for your suffering.
וקראת שמו ישמעאל
Has
כי
never
שמע
been
אדוני
proven.
לעונייך.
He shall be a wild ass of a man, his hand against everyone, and everyone against him. He shall dwell alongside his kinsmen.
והוא יהיה פרא אדם. ידו בכל. ויד כלבו ועל פני כל אחיו ישכון.
Abram was 86 years old when Hagar bore Ishmael to Abram.
A pickup truck carrying rockets exploded on Friday.
According to Mahmoud Ayub, Abram asked permission of his wife Sarah
إبراهيم طلب الإذن من سارة
At a large Hamas rally.
to visit Hagar.
بأن يزور هاجر.
As the group paraded its weapons,
She consented on the condition
وهي وافقت بشرط
through a densely packed refugee camp in the Gaza Strip,
that he not dismount.
أن لا يترجل.
at least 15 were killed and dozens wounded.
Thus Abram set out.
وهكذا استعد إبراهيم
The
للرحيل.
powerful blast sent a plume of white smoke into the sky.
In the meantime, Hagar died.
عندها هاجر ماتت.
Ambulances rushed to the scene. People wailed in grief.
He came close to the house of Ishmael.
وعندما اقترب من بيت إسماعيل
The blast appeared to be an accident.
And asked his wife,
سأل زوجته
The Palestinian International Ministry issued a statement.
where's your husband?
أين زوجك؟
That called on Hamas to quote-unquote shoulder responsibility for the explosion.
She answered, he is not here. He went hunting.
أجابت ليس هنا.
Hamas said
خرج
the rockets
للصيد.
were dummies and did not contain explosives.
Abram asked her, can you show hospitality to a guest?
فسألها إبراهيم
The group
هل تكرمين
alleged
ضيفا؟
that Israeli airstrike was responsible.
She said, I have nothing and there is no one here.
قالت لا شيء عندي
And
ولا
said
أحد
that it
هنا.
would retaliate.
When Ishmael returned,
وعندما عاد إسماعيل
The Israeli military, which routinely acknowledges strikes carried out by its aircraft,
he sensed the fragrance of his father.
شم رائحة أبيه
said it was not involved.
And he asked his wife, did anyone come to you?
وسأل امرأته هل زارك أحد؟
Myth is a system of communication.
ID number.
Every object in the world.
Family name.
Can pass from a closed, silent existence to an oral state.
Given name.
Open to appropriation by society.
Father's name.
The repetition of the conflict.
Mother's name.
Insistence of a kind of behavior.
Nationality.
Which reveals its intention.
Mother tongue.
Myth hides nothing. Its function is to distort.
Date of birth.
There is no myth without a motivated form.
Place of birth.
An ideographic system.
Gender.
Man attempting to reinvent his mythical state.
Hair color. Eye color. Height.
to say we would like to continue the performance now by inviting you all. Actually, you should be having these labels. To be past these labels out, I want you all to participate now in the performance. The performance will continue. We're going to have a short interaction with the audience on the Tel Aviv side. What I need you to do here is to feel free to come over the side, take an object that you find on the table or that you find on the side, rename the object, or write something spontaneously that is a reference to you personally about the idea of place or home. So the task is to rename the site. It should be a playful task. Don't look at it as an archaeological challenge. And then we want to gather what the audience members said in Tel Aviv and want to read a few lines back and forth. So please, okay, now, yes.
There's pencils on
אתם יכולים לקשור את הלייבלים האלה ולכתוב עליהם כל דבר שאתם רוצים. אפשר, לא להתבייש.
לא ביחד.
תיכנסו, תעברו את החוט, אל תעשו, אני... זה לייבל ראשון.
איפה לכתוב על זה?
על הלייבל, כן.
על הלייבל הזה?
על הלייבל שקיבלת, כולכם יש לכם, או לייבלים. תרגישו חופשי, תסתכל בכל אופן על האתר שלנו ו... ג'ו? ג'ו?
אבל האם יושבים, אנחנו עובדים.
That's why you don't read. Do you see what I mean? Do you know what I mean? It's because
Steve. Can you Photoshop me a little bit? Hello, Tel Aviv.
Yes.
Hello, Tel Aviv.
Yes.
Hello, Racheli.
Hi, Joe.
Racheli, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I don't think you can hear me.
Just put it right down. Tel Aviv.
Joe, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Good.
New York. So this is my favorite part of the show. chaos and disorder. One of the students here said to me that they didn't understand why should they rename? And I said it's because you don't understand that you need to rename it. He didn't understand. But it's in the right direction. We now have Can you point down to me? Thanks. We have Racheli and I. We have a series of these tags. So poetically, we will just read with each other. And Racheli, you can begin.
Green dog.
A little louder, please.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Green dog.
Myth maker.
A little bit of Holy Land.
Refugee camp.
דבשת של מורשת.
Translation?
Hump of the heritage.
What?
Hump of heritage.
Hump of heritage.
Don't take it the wrong way.
They're saying don't take it the wrong way.
Is it for carving? What does it mean?
Rosh Hashanah, which translates into Rosh Hashanah.
Campbell's soup.
Home is a place. Home is a place to breathe.
This one is double
and
labeled.
to suffocate.
My life. Time and space. In the same moment. Interesting writing.
Home is a place to breathe and to suffocate.
Day school.
Myth and memory.
Had I known, I would arrive in a place I could not call home. I would not have brought this with me.
Even Yesod, which is foundation stone.
My mother's pin. Identity confusion. Fractured attachment.
Sing together.
The back door key. And the end. Literally.
I don't know what כתוב פה. Grandmothers. Anyone who wrote it? Is home and it moves to new places.
Tel Aviv.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.